Hello and welcome to another episode of the Made in Africa podcast. I'm your host, Kemeshi Samuel, and in the studio here with us today, we have two very fantastic founders that I respect incredibly well because of as you will come to learn, the amazing products that they are working on. To my right, we have Philip Olajide. Thanks for coming on the show with us.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. And we also have Solomon Ogunbowale. Solomon is CTO and Philip is CEO of KorinAI. I really appreciate you guys taking the time.
Thank you for having us on board.
Thanks for having us.
Amazing. Okay, so let's dive right into it. So I asked this first question to founders to get a feel or to understand the environment they grew up in and to see if that experience sort of like shaped their current trajectory as founders or entrepreneurs. So would you say you grew up in an entrepreneurial background where your parents business owners, or you as a person growing up, were you always looking to fix things? I know when I was younger, I used to be one of those kids that made touch with batteries we stole from the PA system in the church. Exactly. Well, was that the same for you, Philip?
Well, must tell you that we grew up in an environment where we are left alone to grow up by ourselves. So the environment that we lived right at that time, my dad was away, so we left our mom. So most of the work had usually done by us. So we are asked to go out, sort things on yourself. You wake up in the morning, there's no one to help you do A, B, and C. So the whole thing is like you just have to get things done by yourself. So I remember, cases where our mom, we said, okay, go get this thing. She wouldn't give you a detailed instruction. She just mentioned that, go and get this thing. So she expected that in your head, figure it out yourself. So sometimes it might take us like 1 hour, 2 hours. She was saying in Yoruba, why did it take you that long to come back? We are looking for ways to sort it out. Yeah. And, that built our confidence that no matter situation you find yourself, and I remember, in my first startup where, I and Solomon were working, I remember when Adeba particularly said, there's something about that you are just independent, that you can get things done by yourself. Yeah. And real time, that's always been part of me that no matter how much people we have on a team, me alone can get that thing solved. So it has helped me to build a lot of skills around that. Right. If no one is there, at least I can get 70-80% of that thing done.
I love it. Fantastic. Yeah. Solomon, was that the same for you?
I wouldn't say we have the same trajectory, but the reality is for me, growing up was quite interesting. My dad didn't like working for people. Okay. When he gave it to me, it was a printer, right? And he had contracts with local government, state government, schools, printing books, things like that. So I joined him in that venture.
Oh, nice.
Naturally. So I already had this mindset of, okay, I could always be someone to be on my own. I remember when I did my junior WAEC, just this long holiday before you resume. Because of this initiative, I practically went out. What we do now in Lagos with Malam, buying water, truck, I practically did that by myself. Wow. In fact, the shocking experience was that my dad was asking me how I was going to be able to run it. Yes. I interacted with the owner of where I would get water. Yes. I was getting the truck for free. Things people were paying for just because I was able to be, I became innovative. Right. I joined people that painted his office and everything. So it was a way of paying me back. So I didn't ask for money. Yes. I just told him that as a student, I don't want to waste my time. I just need to make, And he loved it. He was a businessman. He fell in love with the entrepreneurial spirit. And he was like, okay, you know what? Take the truck for free. You only pay me for the water. So I was taking the truck for free. So when people were, I think it was 300 naira then, 100 naira for the truck, 100 naira for the water, then 100 naira as my profit. Yeah. But when people were making 100 naira as a profit, I wasn't paying for the truck. I was only paying 100 naira for water. So I'm making 200 naira profit just because I was able to find a way, a balance. So I already had this, I naturally have this mindset. But the truth is, as time went on, I actually had to enter my shell.
Okay.
Business is, I found out that, my dad failed at some point in this same business, the same business that he used to buy his first car and things like that. So, and then along the line, it was scary to see that you were the pillar and then waking up one day, you don't exist anymore, and just because of probably one mistake or somebody just decided not to use your product anymore or things like that. So I got scared. I had to enter my shell, but something didn't leave me. While I was growing up, like you mentioned, I knew I built an helicopter. What's this thing called? When you buy new products, those, what's it called? inside the box that is used to pack
Styrofoam.
This is styrofoam, yeah. So I would pick it up, build stuff, get rotor from radio that is spoiled, build an helicopter, things like that. I wish I continued anyway. I would have been a very good engineer. But along the line, we weren't that rich anymore. It wasn't like before. Now I had to hustle for my siblings and stuff like that. But one advantage I had was that thankfully I was brilliant in school. So I had teachers that could support and things like that. So I had that community. So I still had that mindset. But when I came to Lagos, now real life setting.
And we'll definitely come back.
So real life setting. But thankfully I was able to still use those previous experiences, coupled with the fact that I'm someone that is able to learn skill fast.
I love that.
Right. I'm actually that has been my greatest advantage. Right. So if you tell me we can get this thing done, and like, okay, what do I need to build it? If I don't have it, I'm ready to go into books, videos, whatever it will take me to catch up on that skill to do it. So I think that's one of my major strong points
I love that.
for this.
I love that. Tell me about, you had mentioned secondary school. Going into secondary school, did you always have like a profession or a career path that you wanted for yourself? Some people growing up, like they bounce from like different career paths as their realities change, right? Growing up. Was that the case for you? Did you have this one profession that you were always looking up to, that this is what I want to be when I grow up? And did that evolve over time?
Yeah, I bounced a lot. To be honest, when I started, I actually wanted to be a naval officer.
Okay.
I still today, I still love the Navy. Right? I wanted to be a naval officer, but that was right from primary school. And I was, constantly singing about that. But by the time I got to junior secondary, and I was like, wow, see, this is,
realities had become very
so my
different,
dad, I heard my dad's story. We do have a lot of father to son talk, and he shared some of his own past experiences. And I think out of pity or out of, I love my dad, or I don't know, whatever it is, the profession he desired that didn't work out, wanted to be a medical doctor. In fact, he got an admission at the then UCH University before it became UI, whatever. And but it didn't work out. But so I think from there, I just picked up on medicine and surgery. And I dragged that. And as Nigeria is Nigeria, I think my lowest score in JAMB ever was 238. But I never got into medicine and surgery, despite passing all the post-UTM then and all that. So I just got tired. And you know what happened? I entered a Marshall Navy school.
Really? Wow.
That's
yes.
So, and that's where, I entered as a marine engineer, did marine engineering, but I guess after feeling it, I just felt like, okay, this is not really what I thought I wanted to do. So I opted out and went back to computer science. I was already exposed to tech then, but I didn't want to. I didn't have a mentor. I wish I had. I wouldn't have wasted my time. So I wrote JAMB again, went back to the university. I would not have done that. I would not advise myself to do that again.
Wow.
But you know what? It's no regret though. Anyway, but I could have done it in a faster way. Because I wasted that many years. I had to strike again. So, but it was actually a very nice experience. I mean, I met a lot of people. I mean, it wasn't that journey I met him. So, it was actually a very good experience. But here I am today, software engineering.
Amazing.
And even in that, I'm still trying to pivot into maybe AI right now.
You're already there. It's not even a matter of you are already there.
So you can see how it is. I would say I really bounce a lot, but along the line, I think I just allow whatever it is. I just allow myself to be open to every opportunity and be fast to learn.
I love that. Phillips, was it the case for you?
Well, I think it's almost the same. One thing that I like so much is curiosity. I always want to find out why things are like that.
Okay.
So I made up my mind that I was going to study medicine because I want to know why doctors will have to inject somebody to get well. Is there no other way? Come on. So I want to find out why. So like my friend said, Solomon, I wrote JAMB, I did best, and I think my score was at 260 something. Post JAMB was what say Oga, pack your load. And I remember 2007, right? when I put in for UI, Unilag, at that time I had some retired professor in Unilag. They did all they could, right, to get me to Unilag. It didn't work. I wrote my post-UME at OAU UI. It didn't work. But, that time, myself and my twin brother were already playing instrument in church.
You're a twin?
Yeah, I'm a twin.
Very interesting.
Very identical.
Very, very identical.
Yes.
You need to see his brother.
So we're already playing instrument in church. So I was on drums, he's on keyboard, and I was already leading a group of choir. Okay. So music was part of my life. That was in like a side hustle. So when that didn't happen, I just said, well, I'm just gonna go study music.
Okay.
So then I just put into PEFT. PEFT is a film music school. So I put in for PEFT, and that's where I started learning music. Okay. So I put in for music technology, and I enhanced my skill in music. 2 years after my diploma, I was like, what else can I do? Yeah. I put into economics, right? Jabu, it's a private university, but I saw that the distance from Lagos to be going to Jabu was quite strenuous, and I felt like I can't do this. Then I think that was when this Open University became very common then, and I put in for business management. Right. Fast forward that, in between, that was when the likes of Linda AKG blog started coming out. That was in 2012. We learned the whole thing. So all of us went in but maybe destiny knew that this guy is going to land up in tech. Yeah. But we started with blogging, we writing all of those things. And I remember that I've always had this desire that after I finished school at that time that I was going to release my album. Okay. So 2012 when I finished and I was working on my album, 2014, and I ran into issues. I could not, produce a song. I was like, what's wrong? Could there not be technology that could actually help us to get this thing done without all of these? Then we're using Cubase, Fruity Loops, and all of those things. And it was then I said, I'm going to go into this tech. I really want to know how these things are done. I believe there's something inside this. Yeah. And that was when I started learning the likes of, Python. Then we're learning HTML and all of that. And today, I'm, building softwares. A lot of mobile apps are built. So we've left the first love, which is medicine. Right. Now we're building the future. And if you ask me in my next world, would I want to be a software developer? I would say yes, but I would love to be a scientist because I still love curiosity. I just want to know why water is coming out from the rock.
Really work,
Why?
Amazing.
You could venture into research for, there's R&D and
exactly, it's very much possible. So speaking of, after school, did you have any corporate experience? Were you working for someone and then how did the idea of KorinAI begin
So of course, when I finished music, right? Yeah. As a music teacher, or of course.
I'm sorry to cut you short. Did you ever consider going to Muson?
Yeah, at that time, I was planning to go to Muson, but because I was already engaged, because at that time, I was already playing piano, keyboard, singing, and almost the same thing I've learned, PEFT was the need of going. So I just abandoned that. Then I started teaching music in most of private school in Lekki. So I got engaged in. Then aside that, I was doing my own music, producing songs and all of that. Yes. So I went fully into music. Okay. From 2012 to about 2022, I was doing both music education and I was doing those music production and all of that. So I think that's the only time I think I was in between the profession, and it wasn't profession like that. It was just like, trying to use my skill to teach people how they can learn music. Yeah. I was teaching kids piano, guitar, how to sing and the likes. So
when did you pick up software development?
Yeah, that's in between 2012. Like I said, 2012 when the Linda AKG whole thing started. That was when I fell in love with the whole blogging thing. So the thing pushed me down to, I want to learn, because I'm always like, why is this thing like this? The whole thing started between 2012, 2014, then mainstream 2016. That's when I ventured fully into. So I was doing my music. And I remember, when I got married 2016, I remember, I'm a believer. So there is one word that's, then at that time when I was teaching music, my salary was enough. So at that time, I think 120 or 130 as a music teacher. Yeah. So I was doing pretty well. So, but I heard something which said that there's going to be an holocaust. Okay. The holocaust is that there's going to be a swine that's going to come into the music teaching industry. Okay. Which means that the salary I was collecting at that time is not going to be able to sustain me as a family man. So, but that time I was building my tech skills. All right. So then he said, go fully into tech. So, and fast forward 2 months after I got married, the Holocaust came indeed. Massive people came into music education. So things that I was collecting some amount of money as salary, they are willing to collect lesser.
Oh.
So the school that I was working, they actually said, "Oh, Aga,
Yeah,
it's
so
like
that."
So thankfully that I have started building my tech skills. So I was not doing tech side. So whenever I'm done teaching in schools, I go back to my laptop. I was building website for people. You know, I was building all of that, and that's how I was doing the whole thing side to side. And today we're here.
Fantastic. Solomon, what was your experience learning how to code? I tried. I tried to learn
Don't worry, I know
how to code.
a lot of people actually
But it was not just for me. So what was your experience like?
So, naturally, I love mathematics.
Okay.
In fact, I think while I was in secondary school, GS3 and SX2, I was to represent my school. I went to Federal Government College in Dogolu at the Calvin National Competition, which I did. Even though I did not carry first.
I know it doesn't really matter. The fact that you were selected, but I respect people that know math.
So today, I'm a maths lover.
Fantastic.
So I think there's this thing about logic that stays with me naturally. So I don't think I didn't really struggle with tech.
Okay.
But the exposure was, the first time I was exposed to tech was Code Lagos.
Okay.
I don't think they're doing that program again. It's been a while. I think 2015, started in 2015 or so. So I was part of the, I think, first or second cohort then. So they taught, in fact, the first time I did HTML with Bootstrap and I saw it was on my machine, no? It was not online. I went home, the way I was shouting, they were like, wow, what did you do?
Yes.
Bro, you don't understand. I just built a website.
I can
it was so I fell in love with that, but I mean, along the line, I thought I was going to stay with web.
Okay.
Then came Andela with Google partnership and all that. So ALC, I joined ALC, I think 2.0.
Okay.
I was second cohort. Then I was in 2.0, 3.0, 3.1 up to 4.0. So there I went into Android development fully, where I learned how to build Android apps with Java. As at then, I think at 4.0, they switched to Kotlin.
All right.
But I mean, while I was doing that, after 2.0, what I started doing was start looking for a job. And that's one thing I think helped me. Funniest part is I didn't get a job until after 4 years
Really?
of learning.
Wow. So it was just you freelancing all the while.
Building. Yeah. In fact, during those periods, while I was looking for a job, I built a company, the first company, in the last 3 months. Myself and my roommates, they're very good. One of them is the city of Sycamore right now. Daniel.
Nice.
Yeah, the city of Sycamore. We were all roommates, all together and all that. But you see, it was a very beautiful moment because we were focused on learning our skill. He was very good with JavaScript.
Yeah.
Anything called JavaScript, front end, back end, middle end, up and down. As far as it's JavaScript, is the Lord. I was the guy with Android.
Right.
We had other guys, Timmy and and the likes, and everybody was. We just decided to pick her. So there was this culture of growth between us, and it really helped me. And today, I mean, everyone is doing okay in their own way. So it was a very nice. Don't let me use the word nice. It was a very deliberate journey. Yeah. Because first off, I knew that age was not on my side.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I went to write JAMB again. So I already did the calculation. By the time I am going to graduate, I'll be competing with people that I'm like 9-10 years older than in the same industry. Yeah. So why would a bank pick you
over years
over somebody who is 10 years, 9 years, 8 years younger than you? Yeah. They would rather invest in someone like that. You don't have experience. So one of the things I did, which was why I began to look for jobs. So I got my first job while I was in 200 level as an intern, an Android intern. And it was pretty much good. I think I was earning 80K as an intern. Like at that time, like 80,000 naira, graduate, like a graduate salary. So it was really impressive for me. And after that, I got Goldman. First time I earned in foreign currency. I received my first pounds. I think it was about 800 pounds after 3 months of after 1 month of internship, spring. But that was COVID 2020. Okay, we couldn't travel. I think it was about a week for me to leave. My flight ticket was ready. It's just I think on the 21. I was supposed to move on the 28th. But lockdown was declared March 21. I cried.
Wow.
Boy, I cried. Like, why didn't you lock me down when I touched down in London?
Right, bro? Yes. I hear you.
It was painful. I cried, I mean, but it was also a nice experience. We did everything virtually, different company told us about the company, gave us access to top guys, management in the company and all that. And at the end of the internship, we got our money. It was the first time I felt like a king,
On top of the world.
And I told myself, see this tech,
Stay.
I
I
died.
know they great. And that was one of the things that actually helped. But my journey is a very unique one because after that experience, every other company I've been working with has been a startup. Either I'm joining a friend to start, or I'm with someone who knows someone who is interested in, and I'm very interested in building. Like, the only company I have worked with that is not a startup is Goldman Sachs. I mean, I was there last year again. Also, I went again last year between June and August, just for another 3 months summer internship with them. And it was actually a very good experience. I considered
being absorbed into
I actually got an offer, but visa restrictions and UK wahala. So I had to let that go.
Interesting.
So if not, I probably will not be here with this man. But I believe God always has a way of bringing us together. So it was immediately after I had that issue with visa and everything, and I was like, "Whoa, see, maybe this thing is not God's way," and I left it. I think it was about 2 weeks later, he called me, and I was like, if you remember the very first word I told you, I was like, I know God is doing something. Like, it was like, okay, it's not a waste. Let's use this skill.
Because I wanted to hear exactly how you guys met. But Phillips, please narrate that story.
So I and Solomon, we've known back since 2021, right?
Okay.
Like I said, I first started up with a friend at Adeba, right? So it was a Transtech platform.
Okay.
So Solomon was one of our tech team then. So that's where I finally met Solomon, and then we've kept in contact. Or of course, we usually converse once in a while. So last year when I started building KorinAI, right, June, I think this year now, July precisely, 24th July, when I started building. Right at that time, I know that there were a lot of people in the industry that I was willing to work with, but I was not comfortable with some of the guys I was actually seeing. So I said, well, I'm just going to go solo.
Okay.
So then I started building the whole thing, doing my research, do some testing and all of that, created some examples, and I belong to First Founders Network. So I was able to, tell them or share with them, do you like me to generate a jingle for your startup, for your product? And I remember about 20 of them subscribed, and I generated the jingles for them, for their product. So then fast forward December, January, I did that. I joined an hackathon in November. It's called Gen AI in Australia, and my team came third. So when I saw what we did, and I was already building Korin, but I didn't use Korin as our product. I built another product entirely in AI. So when we won, we came third, and I saw, wow, so this can actually work. So I can't do this alone. If I'd actually have more team on this, maybe I would have gone faster. So then I started reaching out to some guys on LinkedIn. They didn't respond. At that time, I was getting frustrated, but the amount of money that at least I got from that Gen AI, I was able to put it out to do some work on my own. Then around February, precisely, I was just praying at home. I think I first reached out to, he knows the person, Abraham. Abraham said he's busy. Abraham to work with us at that time as a developer. Said he's busy. I said, I need someone that we've worked with. I just heard in my spirit, Solomon.
Okay.
So, and that day, and prior to that time, Solomon remember that I already called him regarding an issue. I was explaining to him how, things were so tight for me, life and all that. And he said, Mr. Philip, don't worry like that. So when I reached out to him, I said, Solomon, I think I'm having a project, and I think you are the one to jump on this. The same thing he said, it's like, this is the right time for me to come on this project. So that was when I and Solomon started. And so we've been friends since far back as 2021.
Fantastic. So now Solomon was coming to join you on KorinAI. What was that dynamic? I know that you guys had worked together previously, but was that in close contact or just within the same organization?
Close contact. I was CTO and it was one of our developers. So we, he talked to me like a brother. We talk virtually. As a matter of fact, I'm a go person. So I usually have conversation with people on a natural ground without any we're on live. I'm a pastor, so I put the pastor like. Even if you look at me, I don't look like one. I just want to have my life freely without attachment. It's only on the altar, this guy is a pastor. So that's where I converse with Solomon, like we're just brothers. So we usually have this personal conversation and all of that. So it's beyond just a close contact or something, beyond like a friend, a brother, and all of that.
I love that. So now that we've come to the conversation of KorinAI, and this is the part I'm most excited about, please tell us about Korin. What are you building as Korin, and what does Korin do?
Wow. KorinAI, it's if I say that today, KorinAI is Africa's first AI music lab. And I must say that there is none currently in Africa. Like I said earlier, that KorinAI is something that I've looked forward to since 2014.
Wow.
Because at that time I had this challenge and I wanted to produce my song. And I felt like, why am I restricted? Why am I limited? Why are things not working? And the person that was working on my song at that time, the kind of sound that I was expecting him to, produce, it wasn't giving that vibe. And I was like, why? Like you can hear something in your head.
Yes.
And the output is not, I said, I was using Fruity Loops, Fruity Loops was a bit, I wasn't like, there should be something more. And it's not that there is none, but it's so expensive. At that time, to get a top-notch studio, you should expect around 250, 300,000 naira, of course, to be able to get a top-notch studios. And for the fact that I ever played the piano, I played guitar, I played drums, you still need some guys to pay for backups, to pay all of those things. And I feel like if I'm having this issue, thousands or millions of guys are having the same issue. But 2014, I was just able to do whatever I was able to do, and I just put the song out. So 2019, I was opportune to first get to hear about AI from IBM, VI. So I put into AI in IBM. So in our course of learning, I discovered that AI can actually help you to generate anything. That was the first time I heard about generative AI. So that actually gave me more confidence that there is a future. But that time, sound was not yet in play. But I was able to, discover that there is something generative that with AI, with data, you can actually reproduce certain things. So I started looking into it, doing my research and all of that. And last year, July precisely, I was working on a video and I needed a sound. So when I was trying to get online, they were saying that you have to pay for these and all of that. And I said, now is the time to get this thing done. So I started, I remember I was on my laptop, I was working on a project and I was saying, I'm going to get this thing done. So I got something somewhere online. I said, this is what I'm going to use. To cut the story short, I was able to generate that sound. So when I put the sound out, I remember that time I was at home, my kids were saying, Daddy, this sound, we've not heard it before. I said, this is what I was hearing far back as 2014.
Oh, wow.
That something in your head, you cannot put it out. So for the first time at home that day, I still remember that song is Don't Forget Me. And the sound, the production was like top notch. Well mixed, well mastered, everything was done. I said, wow. So that's what bet Korin. So when that came out, I wanted to test to see this. Actually, there's a need in the market. That was when I pushed out to the first founder network that, is anyone here that want to generate their sound, their jingles? And about 10, 20 of them said, and I was able to do that. That was the beginning of your thing. Then today, we're building Africa's first AI music lab that's anyone with lyrics, you are no longer limited. So if at any time you had these limitations, you wrote songs in your books that you never get to publish or push out, at our platform with just a text prompt or lyrics, the whole thing is converted or generated into a full song. So that's what we're doing at Korin. And this is just the beginning of what we're doing. It's a lab, right? Because a lab, we keep, regenerating things in such a way that when you hear the sound today, it's not what you're going to hear tomorrow. All right. So that's why I said in the lab, one of my thought is that one day we'll see a case where I can sit in my house. I can just make a sound. And it's going to be like...
That alone will be enough to make a full song.
It's something I'm still imagining in my head. But just the way I saw that in 2014, I can tell you that KorinAI, we're going to get to that level.
Yeah. Fantastic. Tell us about the name Korin. Is there a meaning to it for our audience that are not Yoruba speaking?
Yes. So when I was looking out for a name to give the platform, I was looking at, no, we're not going to do Western world, because the focus is to see how we can, sell Africa out there.
Yeah, right.
And I was doing a lot of research. I felt like, no, we have seen a lot of cultures in developed country that they, especially Chinese, they are always very particular about their name.
Promoting their culture. Yeah.
I was using the word singify and all of that thing. So, and how can I convert singify to Yoruba? Okay. Korin. No. I was doing a lot of syllables, I was just remove there. I just say, let me leave it for Korin.
Okay.
So first thing I always do that when I'm writing something, I put it on Google to check if the name has been taken already. So which I did, I discovered that no one. I said, that is the name. KorinAI. So that's how the name came. So the meaning of Korin is sing.
Okay.
That's what it means.
Amazing. Solomon, let's discuss the more technical parts.
Okay.
So obviously to create like a large language model, you need like data to actually train them, right? How are you guys going about sourcing that data? I know that in Nigeria, data sourcing can be a big problem because of like the infrastructure problem we have in so many different areas. But how are you guys navigating that complexity?
Okay, so I mean, no data, no AI.
Exactly.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
We're enjoying AI today because over the years, there have been a lot of data over on the internet, like across board.
Right.
Right. So, but the difference now is, a lot of things with data security, privacy, and all that.
Compliance.
And you can't just wake up one day and start picking people's
random data. Yeah.
So what we do at Korin, I mean, we're still hoping to expand more, is that we get people, volunteers, or sometimes paid, to, we can waive off your right over the song, or generate something for us in this particular genre.
Okay.
Right, so that we are sure that we want something on Afrobeat.
Yeah.
Can you give us Afrobeat? Okay, yeah. And it's just like you said, some people have songs, but it has not even reached the audience of 10 or 20 people. Yeah. But you see somebody willing to pay you a certain amount for it, and you're like, okay, we'll see, just take and go. At least I've received value for this. So the whole idea for data gathering in Korin is that we get people that are ready to volunteer, and they know that we want to use this thing for training. Yes. I mean, there are platforms whereby you can donate your voice and things like that. So that's just the basic idea for Korin. And then he adds some, based on his background. Yes. He has some friends who are studio managers and the likes. I mean, just have discussion with them that we could, use their platform, get people to sing, so that we can have this data and then be able to use it to train the
models. Fantastic. Now, I understand that both of you are technical, right? Do you have other people on the team as well? And when you're looking to hire, what are qualities, especially technical qualities, technical and also soft skills, right? Because when it comes to working in a team, you need both technical and soft skills as well. So what do you look out for when looking to hire a developer?
So for me, first thing, I mean, we had our own share of experience, even in just starting recently. So one thing that is very key is not even about technical.
Okay.
Technicality is, like I said, for giving myself as an example, when I worked with GS, then I think I was meant to build a project in 10 weeks. Okay. And I was going to use a programming language I've never used before. Wow. So if it was technicality, I don't merit that. Exactly. That's it, right? But I was able to do that, and I was able to deliver the project in the space of 10 weeks. Right? So technicality is not really the thing. In fact, soft skill is very much more important than your technicality. And one of the soft skills that we look out for is your ability to learn. Okay. Somebody that is teachable. Yeah. Right? Then apart from that, you have to be somebody that is reliable and honest. In fact, that one is very, very, very key. See, one of our share of experience in terms of hiring someone, we had someone and he wasn't honest. Okay. I mean, we know we're in the world of AI. People vibe code. Yeah. Right? Right? But don't think that you can vibe code your way out of everything, right? If you don't know something and you let me know that I'm willing to learn, okay, we can provide you with resources. I'm not against that.
Yes.
Some people allowed me to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I'm not against that. But you vibe coding and then saying,
I'm posing to be an expert.
I am the expert. Come on. So one of the things we look out for is somebody who is ready to learn, teachable, right? That I know I don't know this thing, but I'm willing to take up a challenge, right? So because if you don't learn, you don't grow, right? And as I said, be honest.
Yeah.
And beyond that, now in the technical part, you might not know the programming language, but you should understand the rudiments of software development lifecycle generally. You know what it takes to build a software, and then depending on, in fact, concerning the fact that ours is something that has to do with reliability a lot. There are some things we also look out for, because we don't want you to just build something and then it's working on my machine. It's not working on the server.
I see.
Because we have a lot of that. I've also done that myself a lot. Right. Do you understand? So the whole idea is that have an idea of what you're doing. Don't be a novice in that particular line. At least, even if you are a novice in that line, understand the rudiment of software development. Very, very key. You understand basic OOP designs, things like that. You know what it takes to build a software. Right. So even if you don't know, maybe we are using Golang and you write Java, you can transfer the knowledge from Java to Go. You are just learning the syntaxes, but the application remains the same. Yes. Do you understand? So, I mean, there might be some pointers that might be different, but it's not that large. The 80%, 70 to 80% of the application, the processes are the same across board. So if you understand for one, you can understand for the other.
I love that. Philip, I understand the premise of Korin and what you guys have set out to do with the product. But can you give us like nuanced use cases that you are beginning to discover as you build the product in ways that you're beginning to see that users can interact and then take advantage of this incredible tool that you guys are working on?
Yeah. So for instance, for someone that is starting out, right, Korin can be a platform where you can build your confidence. So just where we have vibe coding, right, begin to have vibe singing. So what it means is that I remember back days in school, there are some guys, whenever they want to sing, they wear their shades, right, because they can't see they don't want the audience to know. So now, the world of AI right now, I've started seeing some guys that write, just write a song, produce the song, go on stage and vibe sing, right? So what you need to do right now is to focus on the energy you're giving to the people. So the song itself is doing its own work. So that's a use case for me. And another use case I see is around education, because I've worked in schools and I see challenge sometimes when we are teaching kids how to learn new songs. I've worked with kids for almost 10 years and sometimes I have to teach them repeat over and over and over. Sometimes takes weeks and months. So with Korin, right, teachers, schools can actually put their lyrics there and generate a song and give the parents the song. Let the kids start listening to the song at home. And that way they can quickly learn the song quicker, faster. So when they come together, they just sing along because they've been hearing the song. So this reduces the time of learning and all of that. And again, I've seen, a lot of people have, this challenge whenever they want to get their product. I remember a particular pastor reached out to me and said he's trying to get a voiceover someone personality to record a jingle for him. I was like, why is it that guy? I said, they're charging 150, 200. I said, wow, they're charging 150, 200. Great. So imagine having such people in many cases. So I said, sir, do you know that I can actually do that for you in less than $10? I said, what do you mean? Are you going to be the one that will do the production? I said, don't worry. Just give me your script. And I was able to do some little things then. We've not really launched Korin then. And I was able to generate for him and it was blown out like, wow. So I see that as a use case for an agency, marketing agency. They can actually use the platform to generate jingles and add for themselves.
Right.
The use case is endless, right? Like I was saying before we came to the stage, right, that AI is going to enhance our creativity. I am a very, I love research. Every day I think like things can be much better.
Yeah.
So with this AI tool, it's going to enhance the way we think. So any sound you can imagine in your head, right? If you can put it in a text, you're going to have it out there. So the use cases are so enormous. Just whatever you think. So for instance, you want to communicate something to some set of people, right? It's part of the things that we're doing at Korin because our platform is focused on Africa.
Yeah.
So African language, right? So you want to communicate some information, maybe as a politician, maybe as whatever, you could just write a story, right? It does not matter the way it's being written, whether it's written in a standard, is a poem, just write it. The platform understand what you have written because our platform, we've trained that on several data.
Right.
So the AI understand this to be like this. So it's going to turn the whole story into a song. So people you are trying to communicate a message to, right, they can listen to the song and still pick the message of the song, right, in that. And on the final notes, I've always had this belief that I can create my own party, right? So if I'm having a get together in my house and I don't want to pick any of the popular song out there, and because of the way the artists,
hire a DJ.
I don't want to, I could actually write out the songs that I want for my party, a playlist, and I create the whole songs. It could be 10, 20, 40, and all of that. And so the vision I want for my party, a particular style of stuff, I could actually get it done on KorinAI.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I have another question for you, Philip. How have you guys worked around pricing? I know that the SaaS model and non-Nigerians, but I don't want to be very particular, but customers can be very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Right. So how have you guys worked around pricing? Have you found the perfect pricing structure for Korin? And do you think the market is going to accept that?
So I'm just going to turn a little bit and ask Solomon, because we've had this discussion over time. We understand that Africa, we are still, at early stage of subscription kind of model stuff. But there are people like I do some subscription products, right? And because I know the value I'm getting, so I cannot opt out from it. So we understand that Africa is like this. Yeah. But I believe that with the pricing that we have at the moment, people that know the value of what this can do, they're definitely going to go for it. Yeah. So the pricing we're looking at and we have at the moment is something that an average person, even an upcoming artist, will love to even pay for a whole year. Yeah, because I know how much, I was having a chat with DLM and they were saying, Philip, can you see the cost of how much it's going to take for an upcoming artist to produce an album? It's about, by the time we did calculation, it was about 2.5 million. And DLM said,
on the low end.
On the low end. And DLM said, do you know that this platform you can get this done in less than $100? He said, you know that you're going to be competing there.
Yes. You'll be competing with natural talents. That is well.
So the pricing for people that actually understand the value they are going to get from it, it's not something more.
Right.
So on the general note for the general people, they might find it, well, it's too expensive. Yeah. Time will tell. Right. Time will tell. There's a playbook that I and someone were discussing earlier on. All right. We might go by that playbook. Yeah. All right. By the time the whole thing becomes mainstream, the pricing will not be a challenge because it will be something that you need. Yeah. All right. Especially if you're a content creator. Yeah. A content creator, right? Because one of the things I didn't mention earlier is that we are looking at creating a new set of content creators in the music industry. Okay. We have skit makers right now, which we're not in before now. Yeah. So with our platform, we're going to be breeding new content creators, but this is going to be on music. So with our platform, people can just create 60-second songs, but the lyrics, the information in that 60 seconds is mind-blowing. Yeah.
I love that.
So if you are paying for that kind of stuff, the value you are getting, you can always pay for it and you know that I'm going to get value. Solomon.
Exactly. Okay, please speak on that and then I'll come with my question.
For me, I don't think there's much to say because I think the keyword is what he has used, value. Yeah. Let's take a few steps back. ChatGPT. Yeah. There is hardly no household
that does not
use ChatGPT.
Even AI generally.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So, I mean, I just use that as an example. But if only you know how much it costs to actually be a subscriber on ChatGPT. Now, there is a free model, right? And there are other platforms like that too. Now, Google has released VO3, right?
Yeah.
For video generation.
Yes.
How much is that? But some people are buying that to begin to post on their LinkedIn, Instagram, and the likes. Yeah. Why? Because they know that at the end of the day, it's it. So I'm a content creator, but I've never been able to launch myself out because where's the time to do video? Where's the time to make songs?
Yeah.
But now, all the tools are there. So if you don't have time and you don't have space, pay for it.
Pay for it.
So it's very straightforward. So it's value.
Yeah.
If people who appreciate the value of what we are giving, they will definitely pay for it. See, I don't believe anything is expensive. I don't believe anything is expensive. See, it's just because we are not there. If you know, I used to have a very bad mindset.
Yeah.
While in the past, I'll be like, there's no way that it's not the same shirt you are wearing.
Yeah.
It's not actually cool. Sorry, you say how much are they selling it in the market? 5,000 naira. Somebody will not come and say, I should come and buy this 100,000 naira. No, I can never. Yeah. Even if I'm rich, I'll never. It was a very poor mindset. Yeah. You understand? So the thing is, as I began to grow, I understood. See, value is not something you trivialize. There's a difference between somebody who is royalty and somebody who is a peasant. See, the difference between them is not because of what they carry, it's because of the value that surrounds their office, their personality. Is the value. If a prince decides to go to market and be sitting down there, even though he is a prince, he has crowned himself, dressed himself in another kind of value that does not really carry the royalty that he is. So it's just about value.
All right.
If you appreciate value, it won't be too expensive for you.
I love that. Now, and this is a very, very interesting question. We have so many, like you mentioned, very incredibly successful AI companies, right? No need to name names. What happens if one of them decides to build something similar to Korin? How do you stay not just competitive, but how do you continue to ensure that you are not consumed by the resources that these people have? In that they have thousands of engineers, right? Deep pockets to get like the best data centers, best data sets that they can train their model on. How are you guys preparing yourself for competition?
Okay, that's actually a very interesting question. Very pretty much interesting, but I'll say this. I mean, we will not see all the playbook, but I will say the ones that I think we should say. So the first thing is, we are not scared. Remember, the key word here is that we're Africans.
Right.
Nobody can understand my house more than me. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Right, that's number one. Number two is this. Have you ever tried asking one of these AI models to actually do something peculiar to African or a Nigerian?
Yeah.
Do you really love the result?
No.
Does it really capture the idea and your imagination?
Yeah, no.
That's because they don't know us as they think they do. Number one. Number two, they don't also have access to everything that they need to make something that is exactly like us. Yeah. We're Africans. We're Nigerians. We understand the game here. We understand how things work here. So that's what we are banking on.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the things we are banking on. And then secondly, see, market is, how should I put it? Market is actually a very, very pretty much funny place anyway. But there is an assurance that if you don't diminish your value and you don't stay stagnant, like you keep on growing, anybody that is coming as a competitor will be your junior brother.
I love that. So, I love that. You remain relevant.
Yeah, like what Solomon said, see, value, it's key. And like Solomon said, there are certain things that we might not be able to open up on camera. But see, there are values that we have in the pipeline. Yeah. That even if you're a competitor, you're coming to the business, for the fact that things we have built, right, the best you can be is that you become a partner. Right. Or something close. Maybe a married, something close by. Because see, all we are building in Korin is unique. And as of today, there is no company around the world that is doing that.
Right.
And Africa is so blessed with resources and language and diversity, and no one is looking into it. So we have taken it upon ourselves to sell and project Africa to the world. So it's going to take someone that, you know, have the same vision in his heart or her heart to be able to come up with such things, to say he wants to do that. So by the time you want to start working on that, we are 10x ahead, because there are things that we have in the pipeline, right? That we keep adding value to the platform. We keep adding value to the platform. Like I said earlier on, that we are AI music lab. So when you say a lab, there are various things that we're doing in the lab that enhances what we're doing at the moment. So if you're coming in as a competitor, you're welcome. It's a large space, But what still remains is that, can you solve the problem? Right. I've been in the music industry for almost 10, 15 years, and I understand the challenge that especially upcoming artists faced. And I was talking to a producer, and he was saying, Philip, you see, what you're doing, he said, you're going to be taking producer's job. I said, well, I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not doing that. And I will not do that because I have an uncle that is a producer. But the truth of the matter is that I'm just giving him an additional tool. Because I remember back in the days when I was studying music, before Fruity Loops and Cubase came into play, you know, we had to play the drum live. You know, I used to be a backup. You know, if you make mistake during live, you cannot edit it.
Wow.
You just package it like that, and you know, that's all. That's all. So when the likes of Digital Studio came into play, you know, I remember I did my chorus. I'll pause. I'll go and take water.
They actually changed.
Yes. So it changed the whole narrative, and everything became like, then when the likes of Fruity Loops came, you know, I can actually put my beat tum tum tum. Tum tum tum. So the whole thing changed. The thing was changing gradually. So the same thing what we are doing right now. So it takes someone that understands this whole process and as well understand the problem that these guys are facing. So on the flip side, so if you, Sam, you are on this side and I'm on this side, we are seeing two different things. So what I'm seeing is different from what you are seeing. You might be seeing it from a marketing perspective, but I'm seeing problems that people are facing. And if this is solved well, the best can happen is that maybe a merger. That's why
I love that.
Yes.
You were speaking a lot about promoting the African culture and our essence. Currently, does Korin support all African languages? Can I generate songs from every African language currently?
Yes, no, but at the moment we're taking it step by step. Currently now we are focusing on Nigeria and about 2 or 3 African countries. But our goal is that every language, at least not all languages in Africa, of course, but the mainstream language that artists use in singing, like Zulu, all type of languages that you will be able to do that. But at the moment we're focused on Pidgin, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and a little bit. But because the way our AI is trained on vast data, and if you put some language, you will still generate it. But it might not be like you expect. So as we begin to build and continue to grow, it becomes more native. Yes, become more. So if you're hearing Yoruba, you can hear like deep, because those consonants, those sound are well pronounced. But AI is expensive. It's gonna take a lot of money for us to get to that place. But
I love that.
we're definitely gonna get it.
So let me also chip in a few things there. So one thing I'm going to add is, remember I said something earlier and I said no AI and no data, no AI. Right? So your AI is as good as the data you feed the AI. And to be honest, with the route you are using to get this, to source for this data. It's quite expensive, right?
It's a lot of money,
right? So it's quite expensive. So you could imagine going to different African countries to
collect those data.
So like I said, we can't start with all the languages in Africa. We are just going to pivot on the top languages. Maybe top languages in West Africa, top languages in East Africa,
South Africa.
So when we get that, and when people appreciate this, if at that time we want to tell people that we are not paying you. If you want the song in your language, find us 1,000 people that can give us 30 seconds.
We'll get it done for you.
Trust me, we are going to do that because everybody sees the value in what we've built. So, but for now, let's get the mainstream guys. Let's get them on board, and that's why we're pivoting with Nigeria and a few West African country, because I mean they are easier to us and all that. So let's start with that. And then when everybody begins to see it, I mean, I remember you was sharing with me an Igbo lady that generated an Igbo song, and she was blown. She was like blown.
I was, because so I'm privileged to have like early access to Korin, right? I believe it will be going out later this month.
This month
to the public. So I've tested Korin privately, and ladies and gentlemen, I was blown away by the quality of the output, the song I was able to create. So I had entered a prompt saying, create a Canadian inspired African type song. I cannot remember the exact prompt, but what I had in my mind was exactly what came out. Wow. My jaw dropped, ladies and gentlemen. I've never been more excited about a particular product as I am for Korin. Now, as we round up, when will Korin be available to the public, and how can people begin to play around with this tool?
Okay, so we are open to launch by the end of this month. So I mean, let's just say by August, people should have access to it. So we're getting ready. By first week of August, we should be able. I mean, we should be having a lot of users testing and using it.
Right.
However, for the first launch, we'll be giving some people privileges.
Oh, okay.
Based on the first number of users, a certain number. We are not saying that. So be very fast to join.
Join the wait list.
Yeah. You don't know whether it is 100 or 50 or 1,000 or 10,000. We are not going to be sharing that. But be the first, you know. We have a wait list already for people to, join and show interest. I mean, and you could see some of the songs that were produced there. Yeah. If you go to korin.com.ng, you would see
it gives.
So don't worry, exciting times are ahead.
Yes.
We have not, in fact, we ourselves, we just feel like we've not. So exciting times are ahead. There are a lot of work to be done. That's the truth. There is a lot of work to be done. For instance, myself, Korin was one of my motivation into AI. Funny enough, it was not the first time. I did AI project as my final year project. But there's a difference between doing it theoretically and doing it in real life. Doing it in real life. So, and in fact, because of this, I had to start going online, taking some courses. I have some courses on Coursera, like that I had to, so that I could just even refresh myself. I did AI in university, but there's a university AI and there's a real life AI. Especially in the Nigerian context, university system. Where you just textbook AI. So, but practically, coming into the world of AI is actually very impressive. Trust me, if you have a vision now, and everything holding you back had been tools, infrastructure, or something. Bank on AI now. I'm telling you, bank on AI now. If you have no idea, pay for tools. Get your idea how, because AI is here to stay. We all know that it's going nowhere. So bank on AI now and get the best.
Fantastic. Final question before we wrap up. I'll start with you, Phillips. Advice to aspiring founders that are have an idea, not necessarily interested in AI per se, but just general advice you'd give to upcoming founders and people looking to build something for themselves?
Well, first is that stay close to your dream. Like if you heard in my discussion with Sam, this has been my heart since 2014. So, and I didn't give up, right? So if truly that idea, that vision is genuine, you'll stay. So even if things doesn't work, all right, people that actually see my track record like TLM, I've built a couple of things. Solomon can be attest to some of these. I don't give up on things, I'm an incurable optimist. So I just don't give up on things. If it shut down, I'll build all over again. So if you're building something, you're going to meet, challenges on the way, which is part of the race.
Right.
So you must keep at it. Just keep building. One word that a friend of mine said, as long as you stay in the loop, you'll get it right one day. So stay in the loop, keep building. keep building. It's gonna fail. It's not gonna work one time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone that tried it once and succeeded.
Yeah, hardly ever.
I've not seen. Maybe there are, but for me, my story is like Google built a lot of product and they trash it. Just keep building. One day you'll just get out there and see that no, I have a story. I built A, B, C, didn't work, but F finally worked.
I love that. Solomon.
Yeah, so I'll start from where it stopped. So, quick story. I mentioned that I had my first company in 2019. If you go to the CAC, you will still see it. Our first technology, search for it, is there. But it's already, what they call this, is it suspended or whatever? That's the first time I registered a company. And after that, I've had a couple of others, you know, I think Korin will probably be number 4 or number 5. So you could see, like you said, continue building and learning. One thing I've seen over the years is that I'm excited when somebody says, let's build. Even if I don't understand, that's fair. Because I know it's an opportunity to learn. Right? Be exposed to something new. And I think that's one of the things that has helped me. I remember I used to tell my guys, and I'm like, we hear probably one of our friends that we met in a meetup, at a meetup or something, and they'll be like, this guy just launched this, this guy just, and we'll be like, bro, we can code more than that guy. But the difference between that guy and us then was that guy was just building, was training that, whether it worked or not, And the thing is, he got feedback fast.
Right, exactly.
He got feedback early. And knowing that he knew where to punch harder, instead of I'm building this, I think that this is actually the product. But at the end of the day, you now found out that what people really wanted was just this. But you didn't focus on this, you focus on that. So by throwing it out there, so once you have an idea, experiment with it as fast as possible. There was a time I thought that, I have this idea. If I share it with someone, they will steal it. Trust me. Yes, it is possible. But I've only, in my own experience, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but in my own experience so far, I've at least seen people already have what they are pursuing. More than that, to be waiting for your own.
That's just an idea,
You get, so nobody wants to, you've not validated it. So why should I be wasting millions of naira? But sometimes by sharing with others, it helps you know where to pivot fast. So, and that's the thing that helps you as a businessman or as somebody who is starting up a company and all that. So you know where exactly to go into, because you have people building stuff because they see that somebody succeeded. But they've forgotten that problem does not exist again. Because users have already found the solution. So why are you building what solution already exists? Right? But why don't you find another problem? For instance, I see a lot of people going into fintech, and there was a way for that. Why are we not hearing about agri-tech? We are doing music. Let somebody wake up someday, do something in agriculture, do something, solve a problem. Make sure you are solving a problem.
That's a word.
The best time, for most of people I've seen that may have worked close with, the best kind of solution they come up with comes when they themselves face that problem. So take note of every problem you face. You can start from there. If you don't have any idea of problem, so start from the ones you face on a daily basis. Think deeply. That we all face problems one way or the other. It could be something as simple as I don't get boss easily from here to that, or I don't get. It can be anything. But take note of your problems and then see if there are multiple people. Start solving that problem.
I love that. Ensure you are solving a problem. I think I would like to end it on that note. It's been fantastic having you guys on the show and learning about Korin and also your journey leading up until now. I hope we do this some other time.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. That's been it on this week's episode, guys. I'm your host, Kemeshi Samuel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.